Hey everybody, this is Darrin Goodman from GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson. Today I want to show you three intros from three songs from the 1980s. These are kind of aimed at the beginners in the 80s, and well, lots of eras, but in the 80s especially, through intros on songs were, you know, kind of an iconic thing. So you'd like hear that intro and you knew what song it was that you were hearing and stuff, because the intro wasn't a like they didn't start off by playing, you know, the riff from the verse or the chorus or something. It had like its own little separate thing. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look what we got going on here. All right, so the very first one we're going to look at is My Michelle by Guns N' Roses. This is fairly simple to play. All right, so starting off, you simply start off with an A major chord. So I'm just going to take my first finger and I'm going to bar it across the fourth, third, and second strings at the second fret. And normally you'd play the fifth string open, but in this case it's A over C sharp, so we're going to play the fourth fret of the fifth string, and I'm using my third finger. So we're going to play this. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Then moving to the second measure, we just flatten that note on the fifth string to the third fret. So I'm going to use my second finger, and we go, we play 5, 4, 3, and then the second string open. And then we move that note from the third on the fifth string from the third fret to the second fret. So now I'm just going to bar all the way across here. So I'm barring the fifth string, fourth string, and third string at the second fret, and again the third string, or excuse me, the second string will be open. So those first two measures. Then we go from there to an F sharp minor. So I'm just going to take my first finger and move it from the fifth string to the sixth string, so I'm on the second fret. And then I'm going to be on the fourth fret of the fifth string with my third finger, and the fourth fret of the fourth string with my fourth finger. My first finger is barring, so it's going to also get to the second fret of the third string. And we simply go 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. And the fourth measure is the same. So that whole sequence slowly. It simply repeats. Whoops. So it just does that same sequence. It repeats like 4 times, I believe. And on the last time, it's just slightly different. So on the very last time, you just, on that third measure, you just strum that whole F sharp minor. All right, next we're going to look at the intro for Wild Child by W.A.S.P. This one is really, really easy, but this was a really cool riff, I thought, and whenever you heard it, you just knew what song it was. So we're going to go up to the 6th fret of the 3rd string with your 2nd finger, the 5th fret of the 2nd string with your 1st finger, and the 7th fret of the 2nd string with your 3rd finger. So you're going to be, the note on the 2nd string switches back and forth between the 5th and the 7th. So this way all we have to do is just lift and lower our 3rd finger. So we play starting on the 7th fret. We play the 2nd string, then the 3rd, then the 2nd, then the 3rd, and then we take our 3rd finger off, 2nd, 3rd, 2nd, and then back to the 7th, back to the 3rd, back to the 2nd, back to the 3rd. Take our 3rd finger off, so we're on the 5th fret, 2nd, 3rd, 2nd. So the whole thing with this is 8th notes. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Or excuse me, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So on the and of 4 we go back, we put our 3rd finger back on the 7th fret of the 2nd string, and that's tied to the downbeat of the next measure. So that would be like, it would be the duration of a quarter note. Then back to the 3rd string for and of 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then that riff just simply repeats. I don't remember how many times exactly it repeats, because there's like power chords going on behind it. Something like that. So the whole riff up to speed. Pretty simple. All right, and then finally we're going to look at the intro for Shook You All Night Long by AC/DC. So this one is a little bit more complicated, but I still consider this to be somewhat of a beginner riff. So we start off, we're going to be playing the 4th and 3rd strings open, but we're going to be playing at the 3rd fret of the 2nd and 1st strings, and in this case I'm using my 2nd finger on the 2nd string and my 3rd finger on the 1st string. Then I'm going to take my 1st finger and I'm going to put it on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and I'll show you why here in just a second. So we start off, we just strum strings 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then you're going to take your 4th finger and you're going to move it up to the 5th fret of the 1st string, and then you're going to strum just strings 3, 2, and 1. So when you do this first one, the first strum, it is beats 1, 2, and 3, and the downbeat of 4, and then it's on the and of 4 where you move up to the 5th fret with your 4th finger. And then that is tied to the downbeat of the of 1 of the next measure. Then you take your 4th finger off, and on the and of 1 you strum just strings 3, 2, and 1. You do that on the and of 1, the downbeat of 2, and then on the and of 2 you take your 3rd finger off of the 1st string, so that way now it's playing that note that you're playing with your 1st finger on the 2nd fret. Back to the 3rd fret, back to the 2nd fret, then you just hit the 2nd and then the 3rd string. So we have now you're going to take your 1st finger and move it from the 2nd fret of the 1st string to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, like you're playing a D. And you're just going to strum strings 4, 3, and 2. Then you're going to take your third finger and you're going to go to the 3rd fret of the 4th string, and you're going to hit that note, and this is on the downbeat of 4, and then you're going to take it off and hit that same D5 again. Then, and so this is like 4 and that's tied to that's tied to 1, and it's a dotted quarter note, so it's beat 1 and then the downbeat of 2, and then on the and of 2, you're going to take your 3rd finger, put it back onto the 3rd fret of the 4th string. You're going to pick that and slide to 4, hit the 2nd string, whoops, which your 2nd finger is on the 3rd fret of. Then you're going to move your 3rd finger back to the 3rd fret of the 4th string, hit that note again, and pull off to the open string. So that's the first 4 measures. Then moving on to the 5th measure, it just basically starts over again. Except this time, instead of doing what we did on measure 3 and 4, we just switched to the D5. You just strum that, and it's a whole note, and then it's tied to a dotted half note on the next measure, so it basically gets 7 beats. So, and then you rest on the 4th beat, and then that's where it would actually go into the song. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that and you got something out of it. If you liked this lesson, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below if there's something you'd like to see either myself or one of the other instructors at guitarcontrol.com do in a future lesson. And until next time.